Alright, today we're going to look at the Horizon Hobby Sport Cub S Adventure Ready. This is the bind and fly model. So, this is not the first unboxing. I've flown this many times before. But I thought I would review it. It's a very light plane. There's hardly anything to it. When you first get it, this is usually tucked up inside there, so you'll have to fish it out. And I like the box. When I fly it, I carry it around in the box because it's easier. And because this is so ultra light, there's hardly anything to it. One of the first things you want to do is, when you get it out of the box, is make sure these are nice and even. And you can usually either expand or bend these little loops here to straighten out your ailerons or your elevator or your rudder. It's the bind and fly model. It also comes with a ready to fly model, which includes a small transmitter. I believe it's called the DX4E. And in the manual it looks a little bit like that. But since I already have a transmitter, I have this, a DX5E, which came with my Apprentice. And the really nice feature about this plane is it has safe mode. And what that means is when you're flying, if you're in beginner mode, it's only going to go like so. Otherwise it's going to maintain stability on its own. So you really can't dive it or do stunts with it. It remains pretty much level. It self-corrects. And so this is the transmitter I'm using. Beginner mode. This is intermediate. And this is expert mode. In expert mode you can do all kinds of stunts and you can crash it. But if you're flying in expert mode and you get into trouble, this, which is normally the bind switch, you can just flip that switch like that and you're crashing. It's going to level out and save your plane. So I really like that. It comes with this little charger and one of these little batteries. And this charger is sufficient. You can plug it right in there and stick it into any USB charger or port or computer, and it will charge. So when you first get this, after you've read through the manual and you understand what you need to do to fly it, one of the first things you'll need to do is bind it. And the binding process is simply with the transmitter off, you plug the battery in. And then you take your transmitter and you use the safe switch in the up position while you turn it on. After about 10 seconds, the two items will bind, and then you'll be able to operate the plane. And so I'm going to go ahead, and after that you want to make sure, the first time when you bind it, you want the transmitter off. But ever after, you would rather have the transmitter on first. Otherwise, you might inadvertently go into bind mode again. You don't want to do that. So transmitter on first, plug the battery in. It's got a little Velcro here. Attach it to the Velcro. Now the plane, once it detects that it's level, you can hear it twitching. This is in safe mode. Beginner mode, I should say. And it's compensating. This is intermediate mode, and it's not compensating as much. And this is expert mode. It still compensates, but really not as much at all. The ailerons are working. And notice when I use the ailerons, the rudder's also moving too. In expert mode, that rudder doesn't move unless I use the rudder. Now we should be able to see the throttle. There you go. And that's all there is to it. Make sure you unplug your battery before you turn off the transmitter. And we're going to take this out for a flight here shortly. It uses these little 150, one cell, 3.7 150 milliamp hour batteries with a 25C discharge rate. The nice thing about these batteries is they have a 3C charge rate, which means you can charge it 3 times the rated 150. You can charge it at this, well, this would be 0.4 amps because my charger doesn't have a 0.45, so I would move it to 0.4 amps and charge it that way. But that's not what I normally do. I charge 2 at a time. And I charge them at 0.9 amps. And I use this micro paraboard that I got from Hobby King. And I can charge up to 6 of these batteries at once. Alright, I have these 180 3.7 volt single cell 180 milliamp hour batteries, and these have a 2C charge rate. So the way that I'm going to do this is I'm going to charge that at about I'll say 1 amp, or not 1 amp. Let's see here. First I'm going to take one battery and I'm going to plug it in like so. I'll change this charge rate to 0.1 amp, and I'm going to see what this battery is currently charging at, what its current charge is. Looks like it's at 3.78. So now I'm going to take this other battery and put it into the pair board and see what his charge currently is. So I'm going to bring this battery up to 3.78, so they'll both be at a similar charge rate, not charge rate, but similar voltage. I want them both to be at 3.78. And then when I do that, I'm going to put both batteries in there. and charge them together. And because this is 1.8, or I should say 100 milliamp hour battery, so with a 2C charge rate, 180 would be 360, and 360 would be 720. So I'll charge them both together at a 0.7 amp rate. First I have to get this one up to the same charge. This one up to the same charge as this one. And I only do that at home. When I'm out on the field, I just put them both in there. Set it for 0.7 and let it go. So typically, these batteries, when you charge two of them together, they take about 30 minutes. And I have two of the stock batteries and two of these aftermarket batteries. And I get 4 of them going, and I can fly between 5 and 10 minutes per battery. That's 40 minutes flight time. I use up 2. I put 2 on the charger, and while I'm flying the other 2 batteries out, these guys are charging. I may be waiting 10 minutes after my first 4 flights before I can fly 2 more. So that's really convenient. You get a lot of flights in with this little guy here. Alright, so I'm out here at the flying field, and I got my DX5E, and I've got my Sport Cub S. Wind is starting to pick up, so I don't know how long I'll be able to fly this. So first I'm going to put the transmitter on, and I'm going to launch in beginner's mode, high rate. I'm going to take one of my 150s, plug this guy in, and see how we do. Make sure I'm in. Throttle's all the way down. Plug in the battery. And likes to be level when it takes off. Alright. I'm going to give it up a little bit up in the elevator, and throttle up. And she flies real easy. Uh-oh. There we go. No. little bit windy today.
I got mine at